considering all the attention Donald Trump gets from his tweets, how can the struggling company, Twitter, monetize off of the president-elect? So here's some notable tweets that shook the business world over the past couple months. On Carrier, Trump tweeted, "Big day on Thursday for Indiana and the great workers of that wonderful state. We will keep our companies and jobs in the U.S. Thanks, Carrier." On Ford, he said, "Thank you to Ford for scrapping a new plant in Mexico and creating 700 new jobs in the U.S. This is just the beginning. Much more to follow."
And on Boeing, he tweeted, quote, "Boeing is building a brand new 747 Air Force One for future presidents, but costs are out of control, more than $4 billion. Cancel order." Joining us now for more is Howard Lindzen, co-founder and chairman of StockTwits and general partner at Social Leverage. Howard, your Twitter markets, the president, this is like right in your sweet spot because you've been all about how Twitter should be this tool for the markets. Now, from time to time, Trump moves stocks with his tweets. So the only entity that's really not benefiting here is Twitter. What should they be doing? What would you do if you were the CEO right now?
Great question. I don't think it matters what I would do. Obviously, I think they should take big risks. I mean, if I own the stock right now, I talked about it last week, I finally bought some back because my daughter tweets, and she's in college. So they have a harassment problem, big problem. The harassment starts right now at the top. Trump's lived on borrowed time on the platform. It's a privilege, not a right. He has abused the privilege. He is not special. He is the president now, but he broke the rules years ago and is lucky to be on the platform. So that's the main problem with Twitter, is that you have to clean the place up. It's a bar, not a social network. Twitter is a
You'll probably get abusive tweets right now just for suggesting
I quit for a month, not because I was getting abused, just because to see what Twitter was like without contributing.
Right.
And so in that sense, Twitter is an idea platform, right? An idea generation. So I always thought they were very big disruptor potential to Bloomberg. Bloomberg now obviously buys the data, but so I always felt Twitter was a social Bloomberg. And it still is that. There's a lot of noise, but to the financial industry, that actually is signal. The noise is a signal. The more you trade, and we run StockTwits, I started StockTwits, the more you realize watching it all day is fun. Trading all day is stupid. But the idea, the zen of investing is watching without doing, right? Picking great ideas a few times a year. Right now we have very low volatility, even though we have the highest volatility president of all time, or president incumbent. Something crazy is going to happen. I can't predict when. And Twitter should kick him off. Those are the type of moves Twitter needs to make. They need to make bold moves. They need to get into the transaction business, and they need to get rid of spam, and that starts right at the top.
I wonder to what extent
it hasn't helped the stock. Sorry, it hasn't helped the stock. Guy has not helped the stock.
No.
The stock will rise 20%, kicking him up. He will mess with Twitter during his presidency. He himself, through Verizon and AT&T and the FCC, is going to cause Twitter so many problems as a company over the next 4 years.
Such as, specifically?
Meaning he is in control of Twitter, meaning you can't, if you don't get rid of these people, at some point they take over the product. And so he is running the product, not Twitter.
It's interesting you say that, and I wonder to what extent investors just simplify to, you know what, Trump is tweeting bad things about certain companies, I'm going to sell those companies, and Trump is tweeting good things about other companies, so I'm going to buy those. And Barry Ritholtz, who's a Bloomberg contributor, actually created
Barry's
these
overrated,
custom indexes. Custom indexes, and if you come inside the Bloomberg here, the white line is what he calls the oligarchy index, and it includes companies that Trump has praised. As for
but Trump will praise these same companies he hated last week, so the index is funny but makes no sense.
And then the blue line indicates the swamp index, companies that Trump has called out on in a negative way.
Yes.
And you can see the performance. There's a huge gap in the performance. The oligarchy index is up almost 17% since the election, whereas the swamp index is up only 4.5%.
This is the genius of Twitter. This is what they should have been doing from day one. Meaning, I knew Trump would tweet. I didn't know he'd be president, and it would matter. I assumed Carl Icahn, Warren Buffett, other traders would use Twitter. They are.
They
it's
do.
Just I was 8 years early. So now we're seeing it's like the show Black Mirror on Netflix. If they did a show about the financial markets, I probably would have written it. No one still would have seen it, but it would have been a really good show. The world is changing. We are connected, right? And the most important business, as we see with Bloomberg, and the fact that Mike's coming back to run the company, is this is the greatest business in the world. It's magical, there's data, there's everything going on, and they are now just kind of a comedy show to what they could have been. And Trump wrecks their brand, doesn't help the brand, he wrecks the brand.